What's going on, you guys? It's Cody Steck. We are back with another video. I'm going to give you a 1 week update on my stock options trading journey that I've been on over this past week. Now, if you watched my first video that I released exactly a week ago, you'll know that I just got into stock options and I'm just trying to figure out what the crap I'm doing with this. This is a topic that, the more I get used to it, the more I start kind of trading it and learning and watching videos. I mean, I'm just barely scratching the surface of the type of strategy and the potential, gains or losses that go along with this. And I'm really surprised how deep this actually runs. And it's obviously what you're going to see here on my phone is going to surprise you, because some of the results that I've gotten have really surprised me. It's incredible how quickly you can gain money, and it's also incredible how quickly you can lose money with these types of options. So I don't want to waste any time here. We're going to just jump straight into my phone, which is right here, and we're going to look at the types of gains and losses that I've had over this past week. Man, it's been a wild ride. I think you're gonna like what I have, so let's jump into it. All right, so pulling up my account here, if we look at the 1 month history, which I wanna pull up just so you can see that I did start this actually exactly a week ago. I'm using the Robinhood app for most of the trades here. I do have one trade on Webull, which I will show you. So looking at this information, you can see that right here, we started with about 1,500 bucks. I actually deposited $1,000 right from the start, and then about 2 to 3 days into this, I said, actually, I wanna go in with another 500. So it's saying that I started with 1,500, although I did start trading initially with just 1,000 for the first couple days, and then with the full 1,500 after that. So you can see here that I bought my first couple of options and actually had a really good run up to $1,800. At this point, that was just the $1,000 that I was investing. So I'm thinking, man, I bought a couple options and I had some major success on it, and I'm sitting at $1,800. Well, I sold out of some of those options, took the profits, and just said, okay, that's good enough for me. I'm just trying to get my feet wet, figure this out, and go from there. And then I made the really stupid decision to actually buy back into one of the options that I had already sold and took a profit on, and actually ended up losing big on that. And that's what dropped my account all the way down here to, back down to 1,500. And then even lower down into 1285. So I'm thinking, holy crap, I went from 1873 to 1285. I mean, what is that, like $600 or something of losses just there in like a couple days, right? Because I made one stupid decision to buy back into an option that I had just sold and took a profit on. I had a little bit of run on that option and sold out, took some profits, and I thought, what, actually, I think with where the stock's at, I think it's going to continue going that way. Well, needless to say, it didn't, and it unfortunately cost me about $400 on just that one trade. So I had some other trades that didn't make any money, that actually expired worthless. And I think that I saw a statistic that like 90% of options actually expire worthless. So there's obviously a lot of options that don't ever do anything, right? And so I'm kind of taking the strategy, to be honest with you guys. I know that there's going to be some traders out there who are like, oh man, Cody, you're an idiot. What the heck are you doing? You don't even know what you're doing. You're just gambling here. And yeah, well, that's okay. You can think that if you want. I'm basically taking the strategy here of investing in companies, or at least trading options based on how I think their stock is going to trade over, either the short term or the long term. So I've got at least a couple of longer term calls, and then I've got a couple of shorter term calls and puts. I'm really just kind of trading based off of where I think these stocks are going to go, based on kind of some of the hype that's been surrounding them lately. So I've been trading mostly in EV companies for this past week, and you can see that I've had some good gains, some good losses, and then we're back now to some big gains here. So I was down to 1285 on November 18th. That was 2 days ago. And then yesterday, I bought into some really good call positions that have done just absolutely phenomenal for me, which I'll get into here in just a second for you. And that brought me up to $1,900 yesterday at day's end. And here we are, it's 2 o'clock, and we're up to $2,500. So we're actually up almost $1,000, which is roughly 66% in just the past, basically the past week. But really, I mean, from like, where we were at 1285, we've already doubled our money almost to get back to 2,500. So this is how quickly you can win money and lose money with options. So that's why I'm just playing with a relatively small amount here, just to get my feet wet, just to get an understanding of where this is going and what kind of possibilities are with this. So let's jump into actually some of the options that I'm holding at the moment. So you can see here that I've got a $40.5 put that I just bought today that expires on 11/27 for the stock XPeng. I think if I look at this, if I pull up the actual stock here, I mean, this has just absolutely been on a tear, and I think it's way too high. I think it's going to have to sell off, and it's going to have to consolidate back to a lower amount. You can kind of see here If we look at the 1 week chart here, there's kind of a support level here at this like $40-$41 mark, and so I think that that's probably going to be the low. I don't think it'll go back down that low, but I do think that over the next couple of days, it's got to sell off. I mean, this stock is actually trading higher than NEO, and I think that's kind of a problem. I think NEO is actually a stronger company. I think they're further ahead, and I think they've just got more to offer. So this one being at a higher price, maybe that doesn't affect the market cap necessarily. This one's sitting at a 23 billion market cap, whereas I think NEO is like 40 or 50. Last I checked, I can't remember. It's been a while since I checked, but the stock price overall, I just think it's too high. I think it's going to have to come back down. So I did buy this put. Currently, we're sitting even on this one. It does expire next week, so we'll see how that works. If I can get that put to come down, or if I can get that share price to come down, hopefully under that $50 mark, I'll probably make some money on it. And the thing is, I got to point out, I do actually hold shares of XPeng. So if the stock goes up, I'm happy. If the stock comes back down and I make some money on this trade, I'm happy there too. So I do believe in this company for the long term. Like I said, this is just kind of an account for me to kind of play around with. And, to be honest, the strategy that I'm kind of taking with this is just looking at the stocks, finding out where they're actually moving and kind of how they're going to adjust over the short term, right? So I think in the next week, I think this is going to have to pull back down. I'm not going to wait until, the expiration date of 11/27, especially because we're going to hit Thanksgiving and Black Friday next week. So I think the markets are closed both those days. So really, I'm hoping Monday or Tuesday this comes down. I can make, a quick 10-20% on this trade alone, and that would be awesome. Next, I've got some Dropbox calls. They haven't really moved at all. I'm actually down 20% on these. I do think that Dropbox is a good stock. I think it's going to go back up, and so I've got some calls here. The share price is currently sitting at $19. I do think that's going to actually go back up. I don't know if it'll be by that 12/4 date. This is one that I bought earlier in the week. I've got 4 buys there, which is I think a total of $100 is what I spent, and I don't know. We'll see what happens there. I'm kind of looking at this, putting in anywhere from $100 to $300 on each trade. So if it makes money, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. Now let's get into some of the ones that I've actually made a lot of money on, or at least I'm kind of sitting on. I haven't actually cashed out yet. Switchback Energy, which is going to be the merger with ChargePoint, which is a charging station network here in the U.S. So they're going to be merging. I believe it's on December 17th. And so these calls expire, I believe, on the 18th. Yep. And right now I bought this one at $1. It's a $30 call, and I'm up 183% on just that one. I've got another one here that's a $20 call. I actually bought this one first, and I'm up massively on this one. I'm up 745%, over $600 on just this one call. So that's pretty insane. Blink here is an electric charging company. They make the actual parts for these chargers, and I'm up over 452% on this one as well. So I'm actually going to hold on to these. I think I might. I'm thinking these are going to run up a little bit more just because the EV companies have seen so much growth over the last little while. I think these are going to run up a little bit more, and so I'm going to hold on. I don't want to get greedy, so I'm kind of like, oh, do I just cash out and just take my gains and just move on, or where do I go from here? So I don't know. I think I'm going to hold on. I'm going to see what happens next week. Honestly, I think if this one, if some of these go up, another 100%, 200%, I think I've got to cash out, right? I can't get greedy in case there's a major sell-off. I've got to cash out eventually. So you can see here another XPeng put that I bought at $40 strike price for $12.18. This one's up $17, which is about 10% since I bought it earlier today. And then I've got some calls for Rocket here at $24 and $24.50, and I'm down on those. I'm down about $100 on both of those. I do think that Rocket Mortgage is very strong. I think they're going to see a ton of growth over the next couple of years, but for now, their stock's just sitting pretty flat. It hasn't really moved yet, and so I've lost some actual gains, or I've lost some equity, I should say, to the time decay here on this one. So another Dropbox call that expires in April of 2021, and then I've actually got a Callaway call for January 21st of 2022. I'm currently up, I'm basically flat. I don't know, I'm down 1% total on this one. The reason why I bought that one, I think Topgolf is one of the best entertainment options out there. And I think that as the economy kind of recovers over the next little while, I think that it's going to be an exploding market where, Topgolf is going to bring in massive revenues for Callaway. And I do think that stock price will continue to climb there. So with that said, that wraps up our Robinhood account. Let's jump over to Webull, where I've got some other calls that are absolutely phenomenal as well. Jumping jumping over to Webull, make sure to get your free stocks using the link down in the description below. I really appreciate your support here on the channel. I'm an affiliate of that, so if you use that link and deposit $100, you're going to get some free stocks, and I'm going to get some free stocks as well. I really appreciate your support of the channel. Webull is actually a really good platform. I've been pretty happy with it, and I've actually got quite a bit of funds here in this account, and I did make one option trade here on this because you'll see that it's actually here for switchback energy again, which is another, I believe it's a $25 call on this one that when I bought it earlier this week, I just thought, you know, this stock is going to run up before the actual merger happens. So that's why I bought into this, and I just needed some extra funds. My 500 from Robinhood hadn't cleared yet, and so I wanted to take advantage of this and jump into it. And if we open up the position here, you can see that I'm sitting on a 264% gain. So I bought 3 contracts of this, and yeah, it was about $1.17 is my average price. So I bought some at $1.15 and some at $1.20. And unrealized profit of $900 on just this one, or these 3 contracts, I should say. So that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be posting more videos about real estate specifically, stocks, options, and money overall, as well as just, you know, personal finance and financial education. So if you enjoy that, make sure to subscribe, follow me along with the journey. Don't forget to get your free stocks with Webull using the link down in the description below. I really appreciate your support, and I'll catch you in the next one.